So now I'm going to go over the top niches to use when you're doing this blueprint. So first of all, I'll tell you the three niches I do. The first one I do is conspiracy and politics videos, so that's the first niche. And then, so like I said, I have three channels, so that's the first one that I do. The second one I do is wrestling interviews. And so these are kind of wrestlers that are out of character, and they're just kind of interviewing, talking about, different drama of, other wrestlers backstage and things like that. And so I'm a big wrestling fan, so I know what I would be interested in. All three of these, I'm interested in conspiracy theories and stuff like that, so I know what people would be interested in watching because I watch the same things and I know what I like and I know what other people would like who are interested in those things. Same thing with wrestling videos. I like to watch wrestlers out of character doing interviews, talking about other wrestlers, talking about, the fake aspect of wrestling and being like, oh, and then I called this move and he called this move and, here was the thought process behind how we put the match together, things like that. So I do that one as well because, again, I know a lot about it and I know what would be interesting for me to watch. And the third one I do is sports highlights, and I like to put them all together, so I don't just do basketball, so I'll do like basketball and football and even like UFC, and I throw all the sports highlights in together because a lot of times I like to do, a lot of people ask me this, and you need to do the same niche. Like, you don't want to change niches, but when it comes to sports highlights, they're pretty much all the same niche, right? They know that you're gonna give them sports highlights, but you don't want to do like a makeup video and a sports highlight video and a video game video. And so along with that, you don't want to pick niches. A lot of my students do this. You don't want to pick niches that are just like one person. So like you don't want to pick like. So a lot of people are like, hey, Fortnite is a really big game. Like, should I do that as a niche? Well, I don't think you should because you're just going to be finding a whole bunch of different people playing Fortnite, right? And, so people are going to stumble across your video that already watch Fortnite videos, and they're going to be like, hey, you just stole this because I know who this guy is, and I enjoy watching this guy's videos, and that's when they get upset and things like that. And same thing with, like, makeup niche and stuff like that. So, like, if you do find Creative Commons videos on that, you can use it, but those aren't the best ones to use. The best ones to use are ones where it's not really made by a person, like, like if I were to upload my Buy 9 to 5 videos as like Creative Commons, like I wouldn't, people like you guys would probably see other people post my videos and be like, what the heck, and get upset with it, because you're like, I watch Buy 9 to 5 and I like him, right? So, you want to stick to kind of things that can't be traced. So like conspiracy and politics videos that aren't like all made by one person. You want to kind of try to stay away from like people who play video games or people who talk about makeup and things like that, and kind of look more for, kind of like top tens, like, or so like I do conspiracies and politics. So I can use a lot of times I'll use little like news clips and stuff like that, because you can take like a news video or a sports highlight video and things like that, and as long as you kind of edit it a little bit, it's technically your video, and then you're allowed to repost it without a problem. So you can put an intro and like an outro and a watermark onto, like a Fox News video or whatever, and then edit it slightly, and then it's not going to get caught by the filters or anything like that, and you edit it, it's technically your video. What's even better is if you can find like 2 Fox News videos or whatever and put them together, and then that is really your own montage. At that point, you can't get in trouble for reposting that, really. Every once in a while, if Fox News did see it, they'd be like, those are both our videos, and something could happen. But most of the time, at that point, it's kind of your own montage that you put together, just like the Jason A guy that I showed you guys before and probably will show you again. He just takes a bunch of clips from a bunch of different people, puts them together, then it's kind of his own montage, and it's okay to use that. So kind of try to stick to things that aren't just like a brand, like a person, like, Buy 9 to 5, or some makeup person, or some, video game player, because those will probably, people will get frustrated with seeing that if they are fans of that channel to begin with. But, things like sports highlights or the wrestler interviews or, like Fox News and like politics and, conspiracy stuff like that, those are just like, videos that nobody knows, they know where they came from, but it's not the same thing as like copying from a person. You see what I mean? So you can copy from a person if they do put it as Creative Commons, but like on the conspiracy channel, if someone makes a good conspiracy video and they put it as Creative Commons, I'll use that from time to time along with it. So So hopefully that kind of gives you guys an overview of the kind of things that you should be doing and not doing. And so another thing is like shocking videos. So that's another good niche you can do. So ones like, these top tens, you could ones like this, as long as it doesn't have a voice in it so a lot of these videos will have an actual narrator, and if that narrator, uploads the videos and he puts them as not Creative Commons, and you don't want to use that because people are going to recognize the voice and they're going to know that that's that guy. But a lot of the top 10 videos won't have like a voice or narrator in it, and it'll just have like 5 shocking videos, like top 13 most scary videos. So if this doesn't have like a voice on it, see like this, or like this one, I would probably reuse. If it's not a voice and it's a computer voice, I would reuse that. Because, as long as you cover up this watermark, nobody knows who made this, right? I mean, no one's going to claim a video that they put a, computer voice on, okay? So those are okay, but the one where the guy was actually talking, I wouldn't use that. But, these are the kind of niches you want to do, ones that aren't really traceable back to anybody, okay? So hopefully that gives you a good idea. So shocking videos like top 10s, like top 10 scariest whatever, or like top 10 ghosts caught on camera, those type of things are good niches to do. And it wouldn't just be like a ghost channel. It'd be like all types of different top 10s and things like that. All kinds of shocking videos. So another one is like the pleasing videos where, they, just squish things or whatever and it makes people feel good or whatever. As long as it's not like people creating those, if it's kind of just the action of that happening, or you could find like 5 of those and put them together into your own video using the video editor that I showed you guys. And so those are the type of niches that you want to get into, is the ones where they're not really traceable back to a certain person. And so that's something I see a lot of people messing up on. Or like there are a lot of channels that are doing like old Nickelodeon shows. See, so like old SpongeBob's and stuff. And some of them will have ads on them. Some of the older ones especially. So I mean, this is just a cartoon, and you can tell it has ads on it because it has the yellow lines there. And, these older ones don't have the content match because they're old. They're too old to have the content matches on them. So that's why a lot of people do like old movies or old cartoons and stuff like that. And again, a lot of times you'll see them either zoom in the picture so that it doesn't match like a filter with the picture, which is another thing you can do. So if it just matches with the picture, which I think it's able to do, you could just zoom in the picture and then it's just slightly, and then it doesn't match anymore. Then you could speed it up to 105% and the voice won't match anymore. And then you can go ahead and upload that. And it doesn't normally match the filter, especially with older cartoons. And so those are the type of things that people are doing where it's not traceable back to a certain person, but as you can tell, there's tons of them on here, right? So, study these type of things, okay? But the ones that I stick with are conspiracy and conspiracy politics, and then sports highlights, and then wrestling interviews. So those are the 3 that I'm going to do like a really, really in-depth case study on those 3 and show you exactly how I find videos that I'm going to use, videos I'm not going to use, how I edit those videos, how I use the tags, titles, thumbnails to get people in that niche to enjoy those videos, click those videos, and watch those videos. And any type of compilation type thing, so funny and cute animal video compilations. Like I had just clicked on this and there was an ad on it, but so like funny video compilations of animals. Okay, you could do these all day. They have millions of views on them. And then, so like I said, a lot of times if it does get matched with a filter, because I know a lot of my students had done niches like this, and the problem was, either there was music in it or something about it was, matching the content filter. But if you change the music like I showed you guys how to do, or you speed up the video, or you change kind of how long the video is, if you change some of those things, guys, that's going to work for you, and then you're going to be able to post these videos that you weren't able to post before. So, you know, a lot. You can just literally click through all these videos and try to get niche ideas, just, you know, funny animals scaring people. So you could have a whole channel just on funny animals, and, you know, these aren't traceable back to people, right? Because it's just a whole bunch of different people playing with animals and stuff. So all these type of compilation type videos are the kind of things that you want to do, and stay away from like just a certain person making all their videos, and kind of just stick with things that aren't traceable back to somebody. So just like you know, you could post all these different type of animal videos. Um, you could literally just type in compilation. So you could do like top motorcycle tricks, like, so you could just get any compilation. So these are, again, not traceable back to a person. So these are just montages put together by people. That's what you want to find, is montages of things that interest people. Okay? And then all you got to do is, if you need to change the music, you can go ahead and put music over it, and then cover up this thumbnail. And then slowly, you know, kind of change the length of the video, and then you can use any one of these guys, and it's not traceable back to a person. No one's gonna be like, oh, I made that, because more than likely this guy didn't even make this video, or, you know, he might have, but at that point, you know, whether it's Creative Commons or not, if it's a montage, it's not usually gonna be kind of traced back to people, as you know. And so another one's like expensive fails. So I mean, you can make all types of compilation videos like this. So that's another way to go about it. But so that's all you'd want to do, is try to find videos like that. And, you know, if it doesn't have a license, so some of these videos don't have licenses on them anymore listed. And so if it doesn't have licenses listed, what I would do is look at the rest of their channel. And if it looks like, first of all, if it looks like a video that it's going to be able to get traced back to them easily, I wouldn't use it. But, you know, when it's compilation videos and stuff like that, the thing is, you know, you're going to be putting your own intro, your own watermark, covering up their watermark, changing the music on it, which will kind of make it your own as well. And it's not really going to be traceable back to anybody at that point. So you'll probably be good with that. And then if it's like a person talking, you're going to want to go look at their channel and see if they made all the videos, because if they're the ones that made all the videos, then you're probably going to want to stay away from that one if it doesn't have a license. But if it doesn't have a license and you click on their channel and you can tell that, you know, the rest of the videos are all different people or all different things, and you know that they didn't make that video, then I usually will go ahead and use that. We'll kind of get more in depth when I get in the case studies to show you what kind of ones I use and what kind of ones I do not use.